Today I'm going to build a steam-powered power plant. I bought this box at an auction, which supposedly has a toy inside, but I don't know exactly how old it is. It's really old. It's a steam engine made in Germany. I have no idea if it's working or if it's a cool toy. Let's open it now together with you. It was in the box. I thought it would come all loose like this. No, wow. Look how cool this is. Steam engine not recommended for children under 8 years old. Let's see what it's like inside. Whoa. There's a little saw, there's a pulley here. This probably simulates a sawmill, right? And here's a tiny little funnel. This is probably a chimney. And here is the treasure. Oh, it's the original machine manual, all in German. Nice. Let's figure out what everything is for. With Google Translate, things are easier, right? So, what's the main idea here? In this little drum, we have a boiler that's supposed to be filled with 3/4 water. This here is a safety valve. But at the same time, it's used to feed water into the boiler. This is a whistle. And I don't know if I'll be able to make it work because it seems to be broken here. But we'll try. And when the water starts to heat up, it will release steam, which will go to this piston. This piston, right? As the steam enters, it will push this connecting rod, which is this other little piece, and that will make this wheel turn, all in theory. Let's see if this actually still works. The first thing the manual tells me to do here is to take the piston out of the cylinder, right? Take out the piece that will be pushed by the steam and lubricate it well. The crazy thing is that there's already wow, this is really well made. There's already a small spring here, so I can remove and lubricate it. Really cool. I'm going to put a few drops of oil here. Then they're telling me to put oil inside the cylinder, which is the cover of this thing, right? Which is this little piece here. It has to spin freely. The function of this big iron wheel is to give momentum to the engine. So when it starts spinning, it makes the engine keep its rotation. Fill this with water to about 3/4. I'm not sure exactly where that is since I can't see inside. But look how cool this valve is. If the pressure gets too strong, it will push this pin up and let the steam out. It's similar to a pressure cooker valve. Let's put water in here with this tiny funnel. In the manual, it says to use the hottest water possible, but I don't have hot water here to use. There's no way to heat it up before putting it in. Did I fill it too much? I filled it too much. Now I need to take this water out. Oh man, how do I get the water out of here? There's only one way out. It comes out through. Yeah, it's gonna want to come out through the piston. Ah, there's this other valve. This whistle looks kind of damaged in the drawing. Here, it has a little lever that goes down, which I think is for you to pull down and make it work. But this little lever isn't on the original toy anymore. I'm afraid to force it here and break the toy, you know. But let's see if... No, it doesn't feel like turning, no. The next step is to light a fire underneath here. Is it telling us to buy Velisco's tablets? Maybe that brand still exists in Germany. But I doubt they still sell steam engine tablets from 1974. Let's try adding some hand sanitizer gel, since that's what we have. To heat this water, there's a little drawer where we put the fuel. It goes right under the boiler. Everything fits perfectly. And then there's also the chimney here, which in this case isn't fitting. But anyway, I don't really know how it works. You don't actually need a chimney for gel alcohol, right? Still, this chimney seems makeshift, even though Germans aren't usually into makeshift solutions. But I think the owner of the toy has already improvised a chimney that doesn't fit here on the original toy. So let's put in the gel alcohol. The flame is almost invisible. We already recorded a great video about the dangers of gel alcohol in restaurants. There have been many gel alcohol accidents. People assume the liquid doesn't spread, but it's not liquid and is supposed to be safe, but that's not true. People refill the chafing dish, the part under the food that catches fire, with a big canister of gel alcohol. When the person puts the canister on top of the chafing dish, which is still burning, because you can't really see the flame, the canister explodes. I think this gel alcohol will take a while to heat the water, but let's see. Air is coming in from the sides. There are 2 holes on each side, our oven, and the fire is there, heating the water. What's the logic behind steam engines? Liquid water occupies little space. When you heat it and water goes from a liquid state to a gaseous state, it expands a lot, really a lot, about 1,600 times more. That means that each milliliter of water, each little portion of water the size of a die, will take up about 2 bottles like this one when it's in a gaseous state. So that means it's going to create a lot of pressure when the water is boiling. All that little bit of water turning into gas will want to take up a huge space, and we can use that force in the piston. A little noise just started here. Me as a kid crying over a broken radio. Geez. Another thing I can do, while this steam is getting ready to come out, while the water is heating up, it needs to reach 100 degrees to start boiling, is prepare a belt, which didn't come with toy, right? You can notice that here on the saw there's a pulley, place for me to fit the belt, and there's also one here on the flywheel shaft. So I have to connect one thing to the other, using a little rubber band that I'm going to prepare now. It's starting to move. It's starting to move. Ah. Wow. It spins a lot. Too much water came out because I overfilled it, but listen to the nice sound. Look what happens if we stop the engine. Oh, it's stopping here. Did it run out? The fire is out. Let's take advantage of the quiet engine to make our belt here, right? I think I got it. Let's see. If we screw it onto our sacrificial board here, it came loose again. My belt snapped and started spinning here, then I couldn't do anything. Let's just use a rubber band to hold one thing to the other and hope for the best. Ha ha ha, we've got a steam-powered sawmill. It struggles more to spin the little saw here, but it worked. You see, do you think it can cut a pencil? I think cutting a pencil is too much for this little motor. This saw is really bad. You might think it's kind of weird to invent a toy that's a steam-powered sawmill, right? Shouldn't it have been a locomotive, a train? First of all, the steam engine wasn't invented to power locomotives. Heron of Alexandria invented the first steam engine about 2,000 years ago. It was a toy, and we've already made it on Manuel do Mundo. But the first real use of the steam engine was in 1698 to pump water out of coal mines. Nearly a century later, James Watt improved the steam engine and made it a true engine. It was a general-purpose engine that people used, for example, in factory looms to be able to make fabric. After that, it was also used in locomotives and ships, for example. To cross the Atlantic Ocean, the steam engine is more useful than you think. Today, I want to link the past and present by using it to charge my cell phone. Let's build the generator. Remove this sawmill and add a small motor. What's the plan? I have some tiny motors to use as generators. So when you spin one of these little motors, it generates energy. I don't know how many volts each little motor will generate. I also don't know if this machine will be able to spin these motors. Just in case. Bought this here. It's a step-down voltage regulator. That means it takes a voltage, right? A few volts, and it lowers it, and it only lets 5 come out. So if 10, 15, 20, 30 volts go in here, it only lets 5 come out. This ensures that if I connect my phone cable here, it won't burn out the phone. It's spun. It's always exciting, right? Do you think it can power the motor? How many volts is this generating? This isn't good. The motor is really weak. It's about to start. Oh, the solder I did came loose, the solder came off, and the motor terminal broke. But these motors here are worthless. The terminal breaks all the time. That's the second one that's broken. A 50-year-old steam engine is reliable. The little motor I took apart, I don't know, from the crazy capybara of the remote control car, is worthless. Wow, look at that. How beautiful. It's been running for 50 years since it was made. In this test, we see that the little motor is generating energy. The step down is working, but it needs power. The drill is very strong, but with the steam engine here, I haven't managed to get there yet. Let's do one more test. Look, the valve here works, huh? From what I noticed here, any motor I use that's bigger than this little digital versatile disc motor can't run. Turning the motor shafts, I can already tell they're much heavier than this micromotor. Another thing is that sometimes the steam engine gets stuck. It holds up because of a lack of oil, and I don't really know why. Because I'm lubricating it all the time. It can't spin on its own, much less spin another motor. So I installed a new digital versatile disc motor and will connect an LED. Since I've given up on the step down, there's no way to get 5 volts to charge a cell phone with this. If we can light up an LED, we officially have a steam power plant. Now, everything has to be very well aligned here because I don't want any friction. LED. We measure the water like checking a car's oil, insert the dipstick, and see the wet level. It's full. There's already pressure, huh? Just to be clear, the first power plant in the world was installed in 1882 in New York by Thomas Alva Edison. And do you know what powered it? Steam. It's not possible that 130 years later, we still can't do it. Look at this. For some reason, she stopped. But let's wait a little bit. Will it start again? Will it turn on? Hear metal scraping against metal inside the piston. This noise can't stop, this friction can't stop, and I lubricated it before turning it on again. Look, it can't even spin on its own. I'm switching from machine oil to regular car engine oil. It has more viscosity, it's a thicker oil. So, theoretically, it takes longer to come out of here, right? For the water to push the oil out of here. It also seals the piston space better here. Let's see if this is going to work. I have a feeling it's going to work this time. Oh, it worked. I'm even worried about burning out the LED. Well, it's so different. This doesn't deserve a like. I don't know what does. Steam plant, thermoelectric power plant powered by gel alcohol. It's been running for 5 minutes without stopping. Look, I have to confess to you that seeing the little steam engine running so nicely like this for minutes and minutes without stopping is pretty much a dream come true. If you want to build engines at home, we've already made several types. Here's a list of only manual do Mundo engines for you.